Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And I pay the fool who don't watch this movie. It's the A-Team, starring Liam Neeson, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Sharlto Copley, Bradley Cooper, and Jessica Biel. I'm going to say Jennifer Biel. And it tells the stories of a covert operations team who is wrongfully sent to prison for a crime they didn't commit, much like in a TV show. And so they break out to get revenge on those who sent them there. So, yeah, it's just like the TV show. And I think this is a decent adaptation of the TV show. I have watched a few episodes of the TV show that used to air it. I don't remember what channel it was on. It was on Icons, maybe. And I had the season 1 DVD. But that was once upon a time ago when I didn't take so much good care of my DVDs. And so, but I had the obsession of using the cases for something else. But I used to have season 1, and it's a fun show. I think the casting here is pretty good. Like, a lot of people question Rampage Jackson because, oh, he's a, every time they try to put an athlete as an actor, it doesn't go well. Look at Shaq or Michael Jordan, as much as I love Michael Jordan, or even Hulk Hogan. Athletes and actors, they don't always go so well, but Rampage does a pretty good job. There are some athletes that do a good job, like John Cena, The Rock, from being an athlete to being an actor. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And this is one of the times that it works. And I think the cast overall is pretty well casted. Especially Patrick Wilson, from the Conjuring movies, as the, spoiler alert, villain. He plays Lynch, who works for the CIA. Or at least, supposedly his name is Lynch. I know he's something else. I couldn't understand what they were saying. I was watching on a portable DVD player. The sound isn't very loud. I can only go up to 20. But yeah, so at first I was confused until I looked it up on Wikipedia. Apparently there's 8 years between the beginning of this movie and where Lynch comes to recruit them, which they don't age at all, but okay. Yeah, because we actually, unlike Miami Vice, we get an actual scene at the beginning that sees like the team coming together, basically. I mean, Hannibal and Face, they already work together, but then Hannibal happens to run into Baracus with the van, and then they have to go to the mental hospital to pick up Murdoch, which, if you watch the show, you know he's a nuts. And, yeah. And they do a good job of portraying the characters right. Like, Baracus, he doesn't like, I ain't going on no plane. Fool, I ain't getting on no plane. So they have to knock him out every time because he doesn't want to get on a plane. So, yeah. They have this relationship thing, or this kind of romance between Bradley Cooper and Jessica Biel's character, which does have a payoff at the end, in a way. And I like that. The action scenes, I think, are done decently. I mean, I don't know if there's a perfect way to do action scenes, but I think they're fine for what they're going for. I haven't heard of the director, Joe Carnahan. I haven't heard of him before, so I don't know. But he seems like he'd do a pretty good job. But okay, so look at this. So we got named Roger Barton edited this, and I know the name. I don't know any of the movies worked on. It's here. Look at the producers. Okay, Ridley Scott, Alien, Gladiator fame. Mark Silvestri. I'm assuming he's related to Alan Silvestri. Stephen J. Cannell, who had produced, I think he produced the show, and he produced other TV shows. I believe 21 Jump Street was another one. Hold on a minute, I can tell you. I have the complete series right Stephen J. Canal, yeah. So, well, I'm not done. I'm not done. We have Tony Scott, who directed Days of Thunder and Top Gun, is a producer. And that's about it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So, yeah, I think as an action flick, it's pretty good. And, you know, as an adaptation of the show, I think it's pretty good. You got the cigar in his mouth. You know, I mean, he's a pan. But he's like, when a plan comes together. And they do that at the end, too, where Face is like, I hate to take your line, but I love it when a plan comes together. So, yeah, they go to prison, and they're there for 6 months, but somehow in that 6 months, like, the only one who's really grown a beard is Baracus, and he's also become a Buddhist. So he doesn't want to kill. Well, of course, that's his character arc. By the end of the film, he decides, you know, for the greater good, he has to do it, you know. Yeah, because there's this, the villain that we see at the beginning of this is Pike, and like they arrest him, but then everything goes south and they get arrested, and they find out that it was their general who supposedly died, who was behind it. But he was also working not only with Pike, but with Lynch, who was supposed to be their CIA informant. But here's my big hiccup. So Lynch is the one behind. He set it all up and got them arrested. Good. You got away with it. They're in jail. So why come to Hannibal and break him out and have him get the others? I think you're like kind of screwed yourself there, pal, because if you just left him in jail, prison, I think he would have been scot-free. I don't know why you had to, you know, it's kind of a bungled up plot when you think about it. Like, oh, in order for this plot to happen, anything to happen, the bad guy has to let them out, but then it screws him over. It's very confusing when you really try to think about it. And like at the end, it's really like a sort of CIA conspiracy because his name's not Lynch, it's something else. And then John Hamm shows up for a short little cameo and says his name is Lynch. So it's some kind of conspiracy, like the CIA is crooked or something. And I think the whole thing in this is that the government cannot be trusted because they're arrested anyway by whoever was it FBI, I think. Something, they arrest them and like, but hey, they helped us, and and Hannibal's even like, well, we escaped from prison. That's still a federal offense, still against the law, so we're gonna go back to jail. But then she's like, well, yeah, but they helped secure the place, the evidence, everything. You know, doesn't that help? And they're like, oh, and he says this. The guy in charge is like, I don't want to deal with all the paperwork. Just send him back to prison, basically, is what he says. And it's like, really? But we do the thing where she kisses Face, because they're the romantic leads, and they get the tongue in there. And it's revealed she slipped him a handcuff key, which, when you have something in your mouth, even if it's small, it still sounds like you have something in your mouth here. Right here. This is a little twist tie thing. See, I have it in my mouth. Even though it's to the side, you can still tell that there's something in my mouth. Now, put it down here. But then again, this is smaller than a handcuff key. So, it's down here in my cheek, right? It's right here. And I could probably pull off that I don't have anything in my mouth. But with a handcuff key, no, it's stuck. You know? I don't know. And he's just like, I hate to steal your line, but I love it when a plan comes together. But yeah, I think the cast off have great chemistry. I think this is one of the better adaptations. I wouldn't put it. I don't know if I put it in the top 10, but I always thought this was pretty good. I don't remember if I went to the theater to see this, but I know I bought this obviously when it came out. I don't think I went to the theater. I think I just bought this. 2010. I knew what month it came out in, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, but then we get a post-credit scene, excuse me, that show the original actors who played Faceman and Murdoch in cameo roles. Unfortunately, the actor who played Hannibal had passed away, and apparently they couldn't rope Mr. T into a cameo, you know. But yeah, I thought this was fun. I'll put it in the middle of the road. I'll give it in the middle of the road because it's decent action stuff, but no. I'll give it a pretty good, actually. I changed my mind. I know I changed my mind a lot, but this is pretty good. I actually enjoyed this movie. It's not one if I'm gonna pick like an adaptation, almost the Flintstones, Dukes of Hazzard, or Speed Racer first, but it's not bad. So next, get on your swim trunks because we're going to be going into Baywatch next. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the A-Team? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.